Hi, I'm Wild Bill, master of none. Today I want to talk about the difference between an art and a craft. First, I will start with craftsmanship and craft. A craft is a discipline. A craft has a knowledge base. That knowledge base can be completely learned, and the techniques within that craft can be mastered. You can become a master of making porcelain gnomes. You can become a master at uh, polishing a lamp. You can become a master at boxing. You can become a master at karate because there is a basis of knowledge, there is a knowledge base, and you can read it all, learn it all, practice it all under a trainer, perfect it. That's the definition of a craft. A craft is refined and perfected. Then there's an art. An art is something that is never mastered. You are always growing in an art. So an art is open-ended, and you will struggle to bring new elements into it. You will struggle to create elements of your own in order to create a more expansive expression. And as you do that, you are not refining or perfecting. You are growing and expanding at all times. These two could not be more different one from the other. I would give an example. Examples are terrible, you know. If you read examples, they're often really bad. But give an example. A craft is a dollhouse. You know its dimensions, you know how much room you have, and you know there is a certain feng shui, a certain balance in how you place things. Frank Lloyd Wright would say so to maximize people movement. Feng shui is so you don't have bad luck. Decide what it is yourself. However, a dollhouse, mom, dad, the kids, the dog, the cat, the baby crib, the the chest of drawers, the master bed, the kitchen table chairs, the television, the rumpus room. All these things are quantifiable in a dollhouse, and you can have all the parts in front of you, and you can arrange them so they're perfect. And everybody's like, that's just perfect. Look at that. You got the grandfather clock in the right place. You got all the paintings are on the walls just right. Or as an architect, you could do it a different way. People could say like, I didn't want to spend any time at all in that hallway. I wanted to spend all my time in that big open room. Different ways of looking at your craft, but it is still a craft. So, a dollhouse is a craft. You can have all the parts. You can know everything there is to know about a dollhouse, especially that one. And you can put all the things in it the way they should go. And you can feel it. Oh, that's not right. I shouldn't have everything crammed in one room with nothing in the other rooms. I have to spread stuff out. And so it'd be nice to define. This is for kitchen. This is for dining. This is for living. This is for sleeping. You end up specializing. And that's what a craft is. A craft is closed. You do not grow in a craft. You refine and you perfect in a craft. And think of boxing. Rules boxing that we see on television. Think of boxing as a dollhouse with a certain set of parts to it and a certain understanding that you need to be able to put those parts in the right place. And you can refine and perfect your placement of these parts and your performance in the placement of these parts. It is a craft. Boxing is a craft. It is a knowledge base that can be known. It has a set of techniques that can be mastered. It's a craft. So are karate and kung fu and tang soo do. They're all crafts that can be mastered and perfected. You spend your time learning the rules and the techniques, and then you refine and perfect them till you become the best you can. And if you're good enough, you become a master. You can teach your own school. But it will be exactly as you're supposed to teach it, according to the manual, or other people will like shake the buck finger at you. Buck, 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 you know. That is a craft. Let's go to the definition, the words put together in this order, martial art, and examine karate in the idea of a martial art. Well, first thing we know is karate is not an art, it's a craft. It can be mastered. You can know everything there is to know about karate. It's not open-ended. So it is a craft. So you're not a martial artist, you're a martial craftsman. Not only that, it isn't martial either. Martial comes from Mars, the god of war, not pugilism, not personal combat, but war, the art of a general who has to move many troops, not just one, who has to work toward other necessities than punchy kicky, don't get hit. A general has to know where to place the latrines. A general has to know where the hospital is best placed to not interfere with the flow of troops forward, but to allow full flow of troops back toward the aid stations. A general has to know to keep the artillery off the road when the reconnaissance units are racing up the road to get somewhere in a hurry, because the artillery is slow and the reconnaissance is fast. General has to know what order he wants his troops to move in so that everybody gets where they're going in the best possible condition and with the best possible supply and equipment to perform the military task that they have been assigned. The general does not have a craft. He has bases, and he also has pressure from the home. But in general, he is learning all the time. He is refining. He is the things he already knows, but he's not perfecting and refining like a craft. A person who is a perfect grinder, cadence caller, is a craftsman. You know, right phase, huh? You know, left phase, huh? Double time. That guy is a craftsman. He can perfect his craft and do it on the grinder on a big, asphalt square where people march in order, like marching bands do. But the cadets will do it too at VGI. So, I mean VMI, sorry. But in general, a general has an art. He cannot master it. He cannot know everything there is to know about generalship. He cannot perfect it. He must continuously grow and grow and grow. So when I say think of a craft as a dollhouse with a specific set of parameters, think of an art as a ladder that goes on forever. And you're never at the top. You'll never get it done. You get a great view. The higher up you go, the better the view you get is. The more you may be able to see from the big view, the less you can see of the small view. So the lives of individuals cease to matter to you. That's why taking the big view is a bad thing, because the individuals are what makes up the people you're trying to defend and protect. That's the whole thing I had to say today. The difference between an art and a craft. And a general pursues a martial art. And a boxer or a karateka is a craftsman that perfects and refines and perfects a fighting style. The general's art is forever open-ended. He will never know it all. A boxer can know everything there is to know about boxing. A karateka can know every single thing that you need to know about Shorin karate or Isshin karate. He can know his Shotokan better than anybody else and master it, because it's not open. It's not growing. It's refining, perfecting. Whereas the art goes on forever. This is Wild Bill. On the 6th of February, 2024, addendum to Your Fighting Arts is Wrong.